Welcome to Lassoing Leadership. I'm your host, Jason Rogers.
And I'm your co-host, Garth Nichols. Listen, lassoing leadership is the result of our love of leadership, how Ted Lasso tackles some really tough issues, and allowing us to bring these to light and learn from them through discussions with incredible friends, colleagues, academics, professionals, and of course, my co-host, Jason, from across our nation too. On most episodes, we try to take 20 minutes to break down an individual episode, discuss the narrative arc, our favorite characters, leadership lessons that we've learned or that we see within there that may be underappreciated. And we try and leave our listeners with a leadership challenge as well. But we thought today we'll do something a little bit different.
Yeah, I think it's end of 2023, and this is our chance to get into something new in 2024. Given that we're all about to head back to work in a new school year, we thought it'd be a great opportunity to review our top 10 leadership challenges for our first 17 episodes. Can you believe, Garth? 17 episodes? It's nuts.
Amazing.
It's nuts. Anyways, it's our hope that this conversation will lead our listeners to
ourselves,
Garth, to thinking about one or two leadership challenges that we can implement in the coming year. And I think with each small and incremental change.
Yeah, I mean, so small they could be considered atomic.
Yeah. Let's initiate some atomic habits here with our listeners. And we'll be sure to reference James Clear's transformational book along the way. If you haven't read it, it's an absolute must.
Nice. I couldn't agree more. But today, let's focus on changing a leadership habit one at a time. So I think if we can do one at a time, it's something we can bite off. It's something we can chew. It's something we can make accessible for all of us.
I totally agree. So listeners, if you haven't gotten a pencil and paper out yet or opened your iPhone notes page, you might want to do that. Get ready to jot down 1, 2, or perhaps 3 that you'll take into your leadership journey of 2024.
Yeah, and we'll also put this in our show notes and post them on our feeds, our TikTok, and what else do we do? Spotify and Instagram.
Yeah, totally. And I'll throw it up on my blog as well, so you have a chance to see all of those along the way. So let's get that done. Let's do this Letterman style. Garth, let's do a top 10. You ready?
Yep. So I will start at 10. We can alternate on the way down, and we'll leave you with the number 1 leadership challenge. Okay, Jason?
Yeah, I couldn't be more excited. And you know how much I love a good top 10s list. So let's get this going. Garth, number 10.
Number 10, episode 15, giving and taking. Now, we had my special, my really good friend, Tanai Nike, on this one. And the leadership challenge was take time to step back. Consider how we can serve the people around us. Do we really know the people we work with? And how can we make a deeper, more real connection? And we've spoken about that, how Ted does make connections throughout. And so a leadership challenge here is take a step back and be reflective about the people that you lead. Can you name 1, 2, 3, 5 things about them that allows you to build that connection with them?
And Garth, I was thinking about this just today. It's like those people who you know well, they're easy. Close your eyes and think about 1, 2, or 3 things you know about them. But there are people you don't know well. And set yourself up for success by finding out something about them. Think about the 1 or 2 people that you just don't know that well and find out 1 or 2 things about them. And I guarantee you culture will change.
Yeah. And don't just ask them, how was your break?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Number 9.
Number 9. So from episode 4 all the way back months ago, All-Star Apologies. This is an important one. Try to give some honest feedback to someone who can benefit from it. Okay. And I think it's huge to come back to that radical candor bit. Do it with kindness and caring, not personal, right? But feedback that people need to hear in the time that they need to hear it. I think that's part of our leadership challenge.
And I think, in that episode too, Jason, I remember you saying this. You said, you pointed out that Ted asked Nate in this episode, do you like when people point out if you have something in your teeth? Like you got to warm up to this.
Yes.
Don't just come out of the gates and be like, hey, I'm going to give you some feedback. So do it with empathy for sure. All right. Okay. Number eight, episode 14, Courageous Crossroads. And that was with our guest, Virgil Hill. And this one is about supporting something or someone that does not directly benefit you. And the way that I
Mm-hmm.
interpret this is that we can support something or someone that's maybe outside of our portfolio. So it works to help de-silo the school. As leaders, we need to not only look for these moments for the sake of others within our organization, it's also a really good strategy to build a culture that is not siloed. So reach out to a different initiative that maybe is not directed to you. It allows you to be a part, or at least see a part of something that you wouldn't otherwise.
Now, Garth, you and I love basketball. We have that in common.
Yeah, we
But
do.
one thing I'm not very talented at or don't particularly love doing is art or music. Now, for myself, by taking on this challenge, I look forward to joining, maybe our art club at lunch, or, dropping in on a band class, or even stepping into a second languages class and getting a feel of what it feels like to be in those
Nice.
spaces.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. Number 7. This is all the way back to episode 1. The harder you work, the luckier you get. Okay, so find a way to use the term, like you put it to them, Garth, early on. The harder you work, the luckier you get in your work with a coworker, or take a moment and consider what's on your walls. In that episode, we talked about walking our walls and the symbolic items that are in there and the kind of messages that they're giving to the people that we work with. Now, if you walk your walls and you don't find anything that's symbolic or meaningful to you, or something that you'd want to share that really epitomizes your leadership, why don't you put something up to send that message to your coworkers? So I love that episode, Garth. That was a great
Yeah,
kickoff to our entire season.
yeah. And since then, I now have a Ted Lasso little statue, a little figurine. So that's one of them. And then, for listeners who watch on Spotify, I've got the Believe poster in the back as well. So that's always good too. All right.
Garth, you ever at Christmas, have you ever told anybody that like you like something, like when you're a kid, you like Superman? And
Yeah.
even though you wanted like a Lego set, you end up getting like Superman dolls and all those sorts of things. Guess what my Christmas was like? I got a lot of Lasso. I got a coffee cup. I got keychains. I got cards.
Yep.
This was a very
Well,
Lasso Christmas for me, and I've got a little bit of Lasso to go up around my office for sure.
and I will take this one again to thank you. We got
Yeah.
Jason gifted me with this lovely book, said "Lead It Like Lasso," a leadership book for life, your life. Marnie Stockman and Nick Coniglio just cracked it the other day, so looking forward to that. So thank you,
Still
Jason.
working to get those guys on the pod. So I'm
Yes.
going to hit them up over TikTok again. Okay, let's move
Nice.
on. Number 6.
Okay, this is from episode 8. Diamonds are a leader's best friend. And this was with Dr. Kathy Bishop, who I worked under at Royal Roads University. And this one was, what is your leadership value word? She challenged us to write it down, put it somewhere visible, allow it to guide your decisions in 2024. Invite someone in your leadership into the conversation by sharing that word with you and having them share that word with their word with you as well. It should be a key word. Something that you could probably write essays on, actually, in terms of its meaning. It should be imbued with sort of inspiration, an element of like fortitude and value, something you can go back to. And I think it's very similar to the challenge that you just gave too. Like it could be your artifact. You could actually be creative with it. You could actually go to the art club and create a beautiful piece with your word on it, Jason. Sounds good.
2 for 1.
Yeah.
What? Hey, Garth, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
2024. What's your word? What comes to mind first?
Well, Jason, I've been doing a bit of work on stoicism. So
Yeah.
that right now, that's sort of top of mind for me. That would be my word, because I find it really helpful in terms of positioning and giving myself a stance going into meetings or starting projects or working with students or going into coaching a game. Been researching it for about 5 months now, and I think 2024, stoicism. What about you?
Well, you know what? You're going to hate me for this, but it's I have 2 words. I heard this on a couple episodes ago. Everybody chooses 2, not 1. But mine is believe. There are a few things
Nice.
going on in our school where we have to believe and have hope. So I got a believe poster right outside my door. So that's one. And the other is just simple gratitude. And I think generally I live a life filled with gratitude, but each and every day I'm looking to be grateful. So believe and gratitude are my 2.
Love it.
Okay. Number 5.
Halfway through. Here we go.
Yeah. Episode 10, Win, Lose, or Lasso. I love this episode as well. But our leadership challenge from this one was when do you circle up as a staff? How often? For how long? And when you do, what is the purpose? How can you create more times to slow down and connect? And I think this is generally a meeting audit, to sit back and determine, are you meeting just to talk about items, or are you meeting to talk about people, talk about seeing, hearing, caring for, and valuing each other? And are you building those spaces into your organization? Are your meetings value laden? Are you finding ways to bring your organizational values forward in those meetings? If one of your values, for instance, is kindness, which is one of ours over at Rundle, where does kindness live inside each and every meeting agenda?
Nice.
These are hard questions, and I think meeting audits are really necessary, because when you ask people what they hate most about work, more often than not, they're going to say meetings, right? So let's find a way to get them right. That's your challenge in number 5.
I love that. Number 4, episode 17. We just had Dr. Claire Kelly on. Jade and the Dragon was what we renamed it. She had this great title for it. And the leadership challenge is, how can we invest in our teams to help them find their own strengths and leadership potentials? And this really got me thinking, investing in others isn't about like return on investment, though that's certainly part of it. And nor is it about making people want to stay because, they've treated so well. As we know, great leaders, Robert Portia spoke about this, Virgil spoke about this. Great leaders help develop better leaders, and that's the practice of leadership. And this one really speaks to me, through like cohort 21, which we'll talk a little bit about with Robert when he comes on the show. We've seen people come from participants into coaches, into facilitators, and that translates into middle and upper leadership in their day jobs. And while we don't enjoy people seeing people go, we're really proud of them, and that's like a hallmark of what cohort 21 is. So in this one, it is about how can we invest in our teams to help them find their strengths and leadership potential.
And I can't remember which leadership guru it was, but one of them said there are 2 magic questions. First question is, what's your goal? What's your objective? And the second question is, how can I help you achieve that? And I think from a leadership perspective, those are really, really telling and not easy to answer on the surface. So you might want to ask yourself that question first. What's my goal and who can help me achieve it? And secondly, ask those people you work with, what's your objective and how can I help you achieve that? And I think it would be very, very telling.
Nice.
Okay. Top 3. Number 3, episode 7, Let It Go. This is most exciting and most scary one for me. Where will you show vulnerability with your team? Okay. Write it down, share it with somebody, and follow through. Take a chance with your staff, like karaoke, an acting class, or a cooking class, and see where it takes you. And so this can be the most fun and the most scary opportunity, I think, in our top 10 list.
Love it. Number 2, episode 9, Extreme Ownership. And that was with your buddy, Dr. Keith Vandermeer.
Dr. Keith Vandermeer. He's going to be happy to make the list. He's probably been sitting by with bated breath.
100%. This is the one for me. I love this one. What kind of visibility do you have in your leadership? Where will you be seen in your work? And how will you be better in that visibility? I love that. I love that whole podcast with him too. Leaders need to be there for good and bad. And they can't just sort of stay behind a door or spend their days in meetings. Visibility plays in so many ways. If people see you, it helps build trust just by being seen. And it also really widens and even like strengthens the amplitude of your radar. Your radar on what's happening with our students, how are they moving through the hallways, what's happening with our faculty, what's the feel in the building. And if you're a fan of coactive leadership, that's like leadership in field. You're just there, you're trying to take in as much of that sort of radar information as you can. So I really love this one.
That's really sharp. And I think, my friend Hal Hannaford, and your friend as well, I'm sure, he, would always say he wants to be seen acting in the play. He wants to be seen high-fiving a student. He wants to be seen covering a class. He has a list of about 25 things he wants to be seen doing each year, because his mantra really is the head's job is to be seen. I think the leader's job is to be seen living those values. And I think the other thing that struck me as you were speaking, Garth, is, somebody once said to me that, not even a surgeon runs to the operating room.
Yeah.
And and I think that's a huge takeaway is, the way you behave as a leader or in your leadership role, people are watching. And if you are panicked and excitable, people around you too are going to be panicked and excitable. So lead by example. And I think that's why Keith's takeaway was so powerful.
Yeah, and you reminded me too of Seth Godin has this great, and I mean I attribute it to him, but he could have gotten it from somewhere else. This idea that if you got to focus on the important things, and you
Mm-hmm.
focus on the important things, there are less urgent things in your life because you're paying attention and you're cutting off those urgent things before they become, these flaming piles of that you got to deal with. Oh, I almost got
Got
Roy
it.
Kented there, but there you go. All right, all right,
Okay.
our last one, drum roll. Here we go.
Number one, episode number 13. Are you ready? Try fist to 5 or whatever your 1 to 8 scale was. Allow people on your team to share their opinions openly and transparently. And I think, having a structure in place allows people to get into that groove where they're not concerned about being the only person with a divergent opinion. I think those divergent opinions are the ones that we need to hear. We don't need yes people around us. In fact, they're probably the most dangerous. We need people who are going to share their opinions openly and honestly. And a fist 5 or some sort of structure like that will help.
Oh, so good. I give this a 5.
Yeah, you
I
do.
give
So do
this a
I.
5.
So do I.
Imagine how much positive change in our own leadership and maybe in
Mm-hmm.
our organizations we could make if each of us, and including our listeners here, like take on one of these and tried to make it a reality. I think that would be great.
Legitimately, a kinder, better way to lead.
Leading the lasso way, we like to say. Yes.
Yeah, but not so fast, Garth. I'm not ready to wrap this episode yet. I'm curious, of the
Okay.
top 10 we covered, which one are you going to be held accountable for in 2024?
I think for me, I really like number 6 from our episode with Dr. Kathy Bishop. The certificate course that I took at Royal Roads had a profound impact on me, for sure. And in that course, we had to come up with a leadership purpose, a statement of leadership purpose. And what I'd like to be held accountable to is I'm going to take that leadership purpose and I'm going to drill down to one sort of pithy word, right?
Pithy, eh?
Yeah, pithy, dense, if you will. So hold me accountable to do that work, and I'll do that work with my teams too, because I think I've shared, we've started to do some good values-based work within some of our teams. And then on a follow-up pod, I'll tell you what the word is, how I'm using it. I may even go to an art class and do a nice little design of it. But I'm not doing this without you. So what are you doing?
Okay. So I am, on top of that, I'm also committed to calling for at least one fist to 5 each week. And I think it's just a practice that, might not sound like much, but I think really once a week, holding myself to that will lead to more. And it's not just me who can call a fist to 5, it's everybody in any meeting really when we're trying to make a decision. So I think it will breed more. So having this as a benchmark will keep me honest and open to creating more conversations, dialogue around those controversial decisions that we're going to have to make.
But
Also,
I think you have a colleague who's an accountability coach for you.
I do.
Yeah.
That's Kelly Adams. She's been
way to go, Kelly.
Good friend of mine. And she's currently sourcing Korean karaoke bars because apparently those can be just like, I don't know, they're somewhere in Calgary. So we're going to figure that out. I presume I can sing in English if I go there. But I do like the challenge from Let It Go and the vulnerability. And I am going to do karaoke with my team in Garth. Like I said before in previous episodes, we're in Vancouver not long from now. Maybe we'll go with that night as well. So in fact, after this episode, I think I'm going to start a Sweet 16 karaoke songs to play off to determine which songs I'll perform first. With it, will it be The Gambler, perhaps 7 Nation Army, Country Roads, Take Me Home? Only time will tell.
Again, a great basketball reference here. It's got March Madness coming up, which has a bracket style approach. So if I understand you correctly, you're going to have 8 songs on one side, 8 songs on the other, and then we're going to see.
Let's play down, Garth. Let's play down.
Okay, great. So you've mentioned a couple, The Gambler, 7 Nation Army, Country Roads. I'm wondering, can we get some of your coworkers, even our listeners at large, to suggest some songs to go into that bracket? Like, talk about vulnerability.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm being pretty vulnerable as it is. But okay, Garth, I'm in. I'll take a step farther and step into your quagmire, if you will. And
great. So
let's do this thing.
All right, listeners. So let us know in the comments, Spotify comments, reach out to us on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn even. If you have song recommendations that you would like to hear Jason karaoke to. So we will take recommendations for this week so that we can create a bracket. so that for a time in a future episode, we can go through them. No song is off limits here. So, for example, What's Going On by Four Non-Blondes,
Yeah.
right?
Solid. I love that song.
Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. The list is endless. So we need some great recommendations for Jason.
Thanks, Garth. I think, and I am actually excited about it, and I'm as excited about hearing you sing, Garth. So I'm not doing this alone. This is a shared vulnerability opportunity.
All right.
And if it's duet, might be you and I.
All right, perfect. So anyway, this is great. Well, let's start wrapping up. You know what I loved about doing this? I loved seeing how much we've gained from our guests on the show. I really like going through this list has been really great for me.
Amazing.
And hopefully for you, our listeners as well. If there's someone you think that would be a great guest for us to have on this show,
Please.
Also let us know. Reach out to us, that person's name and a song for Jason.
Yeah, absolutely. We really appreciate that. And we've loved all the conversations we've had so far. 17 podcasts. We've had 5 guests, and we've got many, many more teed up, and we can't wait to hear it comes out of the woods. Maybe even Sudeikis. So with that, I'd like to wish us and our listeners all the best in this new year. So Garth, Happy New Year to you, buddy. I'm looking forward to 2024.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you, Jason, and to all of our listeners as well.
Okay, so I can't wait to see comes from this year, and I can't wait to keep hearing from our listeners. And thanks for leaving those comments about the pod. And I can't wait to hear how your leadership's going to evolve over the next little while.
Yeah.
And more than anything, we hope we all continue to lead
the Lasso way.
All right, thanks everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.